This week in the field, when conditions are changing, you need to keep adjusting. Hi everyone, I'm Scott Davenport and welcome to In the Field. So I'm back to the San Diego coastlines this week, gearing up for San Diego Coastlines Workshop. There are still a few spaces left in the April 29th through May 1st workshop as I record this. So there's still time to get in on the action. Come join me and your fellow photographers in San Diego for 3 days of shooting and post-processing fun. So this week, footage from Bird Rock, one of the rockier areas of the San Diego coastline. And the skies teased me more or less the entire shoot, suggesting that they would open up and make things, brilliant and beautiful for a sunset. And as the sun kind of disappeared and showed up again, and I had to keep moving around and keep adjusting my composition to try to maximize the type of light and then positioning certain rocks in the frame to make the best composition that I could. So let's have a look at where this is on the maps and some footage from the shoot. Here is downtown San Diego, and La Jolla is this little peninsula right up in here. And if I zoom in here, we'll start to get a look at where Bird Rock is. Switch over to satellite. And let's see what the satellite's showing us. Actually, a pretty good view of Bird Rock. So this is the rock itself, and we're seeing, this is at low tides. We can see quite a bit of the rock faces there, which is pretty close to what I had while I was out there. And so I went down to the southern end. You'll see me standing up on this area here where I start. And well, let me show you the footage as I wander in and around these rocks here, trying to come up with a good composition. It's a very overcast evening at Bird Rock. There's some hope of break in the clouds toward the horizon, and certainly the direction the clouds are going behind me that you can't see. The skies were opening up pretty well. Tide's nice and low, so I've got a lot of the rock formations are visible. I'm going to head a little farther south than I normally do, and this little peak that's sticking out there, see about setting up around that area and shooting back toward where the sun should go down, right about over there. So let me get moving, get set up. I've climbed up over these rock faces, working my way around here, kind of looking out at the scene from this perspective. I think I'm going to move back a little bit north, and these two rocks here, let me zoom in there. These guys here, try to set up somewhere in between the two of them, and then put Bird Rock itself, namesake, in the center of that, kind of making a triangle with the composition. Yeah, from this angle, there's just too much dead space in the foreground. And looking further south, there's not too much going on. There's some interesting things down here, but something I need to be careful of is the tide is coming in. It's very low right now, and even this large rock that I'm standing on, as you can see, is quite sizable. To give you some perspective, there's my tripod, and here's this very sizable rock. But this is wet, which means it will start to get covered as the tide comes in. I've got several hours, so I don't have to worry about getting stranded. But the farther south I go, the farther I have to come back, and it's a little chilly tonight. I'd prefer to stay dry. The triple rock idea was not working out, and I am getting a nice break in the sky. So I switched over to the 24-70 and am shooting a couple of different compositions, one of just the main rock itself, putting the full emphasis on the sky, and another one pulled back a little bit, catching both of these rocks here with these occasional diagonals from the waves as they come in. And grabbing a few more, I'm going to see if I can get a little bit higher to get some separation between the portion of this main rock and the horizon. Up a little bit higher is helping. It's making a stronger composition because this rock is not getting lost at the horizon. So there's good separation, but just that large portion peaks up over the horizon. So we got good depth, and just a few more minutes, and the sun's behind this this cloud right here. And it's going to peek down underneath there, give me a little bit of color. I'll have a couple of minutes to get a few shots. I'll do some with the main rock itself, some with the secondary rock, trying to put as much emphasis on the sky, since that's really where all the action's going to be. Well, sunset's fizzled out. It just is not going to happen today. The sun's already at the horizon. I just can't see it. So it's about time for me to pack up here. I'll take a couple more parting shots as I walk back up the stones here. Maybe do a couple of shots toward the south
There's a few surfers out there, a couple of rock formations, and the sky itself has got some nice patterns in it, so that could make a nice monochrome shot too.
So that brilliant sunset didn't really materialize, but like with any photo outing, I'm always happier that I've gone out and shot as opposed to staying indoors and then wishing I'd gone out and shot. So the tip of the week is to stay nimble with your composition when the conditions dictate that. Now, there are some shoots where we get to a location, we find our composition, everything's good, looks strong, and it's just waiting for that light to hit the scene in that right way. And then there are other days where the light's continually changing. In this case, I wasn't getting lines that I was hoping for in the way that the ocean waves were rolling in. I kept moving around, kept trying to chase that little pocket of space in the sky. And sometimes you have to do that, just work with whatever nature is serving up for you that day. That's it for this week in the field. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please tell a friend, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and send in your questions. Your questions help more than you can imagine. They really make me think about my photography. It makes me a better photographer, and I'm hoping that my answers in these videos are helping you grow your photography craft. Until next time, my name is Scott Davenport, and happy shooting.